Hi guys, and welcome back to another episode of I Like Trains. Today we are here with a Bachmann unboxing this time instead of Hornby, and we're here with one of their pieces of rolling stock from the thomasandfriends range, and it is none other than one of the Troublesome trucks. Really excited to have one of these out on my layout. I've wanted these for quite a while. I saw it at quite a decent price. I had to snap it up. So yeah, obviously we'll get this unboxed. We'll obviously go in for a quick closer review, and then we'll get it down the layout and see how it performs. But before that, please consider maybe like, comment down below and subscribe to the channel. Other than that, let's get into the video. Enjoy. So yeah, they're the packages up close for you. So like I say, the thomasandfriends logo up here in the corner. We've got Thomas himself up here in the corner, just rolling stock. They haven't called it Troublesome truck, which is interesting. And obviously they've got the sticker there for use on 00 gauge track. We've got the Bachmann logo, and then it's 3+. So apparently a 3+-year-old can operate a 00 gauge track, which is quite interesting. But I guess these are more aimed at the kid variety. If we obviously just go for a closer look at the face, I actually think the face is fairly decent. From what I remember of the original series and the Railway series books themselves, the face looks pretty accurate. And if I'm not mistaken, there is two different variants of the Troublesome truck for the Bachmann range. So I believe, I want to say this is number 1. And then you've got Troublesome truck 2 that you can get with a different face variant as well. But overall it's quite nice packaging. It's very sturdy, that's not going anywhere, and I think it's quite nicely presented. So I have taken the price off, but this actually cost me £18, which I actually think is not too bad a price for a piece of brand new rolling stock, considering it's branded as well, thomasandfriends. I don't think it's that bad in terms of the range. So we'll turn it back and show you. Obviously it just shows you a bit the various rolling stock. So you've got Thomas, Percy, Toby, James and Gordon there, and they all have rolling eyes. And then if I zoom in on here, you've obviously got the rolling stock available. So you've got Troublesome truck number 1, then Troublesome truck number 2. So this is Troublesome truck number 1. Like I say, I'm pretty sure it's just a different face variant. But nonetheless, I'm happy to get one of these in the collection. Like I say, I've wanted one of these for quite a while, and I will be building it up. Obviously at that price, £18 plus, you know, you've got to take these things one at a time. But what I think we need to do is get this thing unboxed. So yeah, I brought my trusty knife here. Call that a knife? Yes I do. So obviously we'll try and get this unboxed as neatly as I can. I don't think I've ever actually unboxed a bit of Bachmann packaging, so this is going to be an interesting task here to actually see how we can unbox this. But you know what, actually it seems fairly straightforward, and I'm not actually too fussed about the packaging. So although saying that, the packaging actually might be quite safe. Yeah, it is, and it's easy as that. Boom. Packaging is still intact. I've got the Troublesome truck out, so that's all good. And like I said, it comes with its own protective plastic sleeve here inside the actual main packaging itself. But yeah, I've kept that intact, and I actually might keep that. It might be just nice to display it in the future once obviously we've done our review. Although to be fair, it's probably going to be in its running for quite a long time. You can tell I'm quite excited about getting this out, hence why I've already taken it out before I've even said I'm going to. But there it is. There is the Troublesome truck. Isn't that a face just a mother would love? I think it is. Quite a few chins you've got going on there, buddy. Other than that, I actually think it looks quite accurate to the original Railway series, and especially the original Thomas series, especially the first 2 seasons, season 1 and season 2. I actually think that looks very accurate. But yeah, in terms of obviously livery, there's really not much there at all. Obviously you've just got a few very bit of minor detail here. There's no separately fitted pieces. But I'm really not expecting it to. But you've got to bear in mind, this is really sort of aimed at kids, and big kids at heart like me. So I'm really not expecting this to have much in terms of separately fitted pieces or anything that's going to blow me away here. But I'm not going to lie, I think they've stayed very accurate and true to the original series, and that's, I think, what I'm more grateful for, especially in terms of the face itself. Obviously it's just hollow on the inside. Nice smooth finish on this side, but the paintwork, it seems really nice. I mean, to be fair, with the dark grey and then you've got obviously the light grey there, the face is actually done to a very, very good standard. I really wasn't expecting that sort of standard on a face. But yeah, overall it has been done to a really, really, really good standard. So yeah, I give kudos to Bachmann for that. But what I think we need to do now is we need to get this ugly son of a gun down on a piece of track, and we need to go in for a bit of history on him. So there is a Troublesome truck down on the track. So just a bit of trivia for you. The Troublesome trucks originally appeared in the 3 railway engines published in 1945 by the Reverend W. Audrey, and then they appeared in the television series in Thomas and Gordon in 1984, done by Britt Allcroft. Now, they are based on 5 and 7 plank open wagons, and they are painted in a number of different liveries. Now, they are generally nameless, but of course, obviously, if you do have a few privatised liveries, which we do see in later seasons, like Scruffy is a good example, then of course, obviously, they do have names, but they're generally very unnamed. Now, they come in a standard gauge as well as narrow gauge. They come in hoppers, they come in slate vans, and they come in tankers as well. And they're pretty much one of the most occurring characters in all seasons, as well as the engines themselves. So they appear in season 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. The list goes on. They appear in every single season, as far as I'm aware. Now, they do actually have a last appearance, and apparently it is season 19. Of course, obviously, that is one of the animated seasons that I have not seen. So, and if I'm honest with you, like I say, I'm an original fan, so I do not plan on seeing the animated seasons. But apparently that is their very last season. I'd be very surprised if they do take them out of the Thomas and Friends franchise, because, let's face it, they're one of the main antagonists in the whole programme. And just following on from that, just a little bit of trivia for you all. So the Troublesome trucks are actually the first official antagonist to be introduced in the entire franchise. Now, the trucks, like I say, are unnamed. However, if they are privately owned, like Scruffy, or you've got Hector being an exception, then generally they do have names. Now, from the 6 seasons onwards, in the US especially, the term truck is used more often instead of wagon, which I think is quite nice. They are Troublesome trucks. They were always meant to be like that, so why change it? I think that's really nice. Now, another bit of trivia as well. In the first series, the Troublesome trucks actually had paper eyes and paper mouth, very similar to how you see Annie and Clarabelle and how they were made. Now, no other emotions beside an angry expression were ever being able to used in the series until the following series, and they had a greater variety of facial expressions. So, yeah, that's just a little bit of backstory of the Troublesome trucks. Like I say, they are think of them as individual characters or an entity as a character as a whole. They have been a staple of the franchise for a very, very long time. And yeah, I think they're just a great deal. So we'll just zoom in for a little bit. So obviously, if we just turn to one side for you. Like I say, I think in terms of detail, yeah, bearing in mind it's very, very, very minimal. But you do have a few separately fitted pieces, and it does look quite detailed down here. Obviously the brakes, and then actually the actual rolling stock itself, like with the wheels down there. The couplings seem to be done quite nicely for Bachmann in terms of their standard. Unfortunately, no spring buffers here, but I'm really not expecting that. Yeah, overall, generally don't think they've done a bad job here in recreating this. I definitely will be on the lookout for Troublesome truck number 2 as well, I have to say. But what I think we need to do now is, don't let that face put you off. I think we need to get down on the layout and obviously test how it runs on the track. So yeah, there's the Troublesome truck now down on the tracks. yeah, realistically, it does seem to roll quite nicely. Traverses the point quite well. Doesn't seem to stop. So yeah, seems to roll perfectly fine. So what I think we need to do is, obviously, we'll do the test. We'll move it along here a little bit, and we'll do the test and obviously see how easily it couples up. So I've already got a train assembled, so we're obviously just going to back the train up. And yeah, coupled up perfectly fine. That's all coupled, ready to go. So today on the layout we have obviously the terrier, Carisbrook. She's going to be pulling the Troublesome truck around. So let's give it a bit of juice and obviously we'll see how it goes. So yeah guys, that has been my review of the Bachmann Troublesome truck #1. I really hope you've enjoyed that. If you have, please remember to obviously like, comment down below if you own it and what you actually think of the truck itself. Please consider subscribing to the channel because it's free and it will help out, and obviously we can do further reviews in the future. But other than that, thanks for watching.